What is up? Work here, and welcome to week 4 of Dragonflight. I am playing Paladin, and I am relatively new to healing. And let me tell you that Fall 22 Tyrannical really hurts a lot. We do end up killing that boss, but it's not easy. This is a different key in an easier week, last week, and I do end up looting finally my Heroic Tear Stone. I have Heroic Coagulated, and we are headed into the vault at 475 as our Holy Paladin. We could look for some Mythic Tier. That's always fine. Kind of some endgame items. Can stick some gems in there, I guess, in the end. And also, we could go Mythic healing trinkets. And we also need a Mythic level one-hander. Would be good. Any of those things. From the raid, we haven't killed Heroic Fyrakk yet, so we're never going to get anything good from that. However, we do have Mythic pants here that could be catalyzed. I'm planning on making crafted pants to play prot, the haste pants, and probably for ret as well. So I don't really want these at all. I do look at this trinket. This would be questionably okay for protection paladin. It's mastery, a good secondary after haste, and it has a little bit of a shield, but ultimately not a great choice, especially not for now. So that leaves us with some mythic chest, and we'll catalyze this next week. Start putting sockets into it. So long term for all 3 specs, completely fine. This is our quick re-clear normal of Fyrakk. We have the skip now, and I do get the Greater Ember of Fyreleth. This is the second one. We're going to pop that in a little bit. And here, don't need that, but we do roll off spec and get the tank one-hander. There's not many people in the raid that could use a one-handed strength weapon. So when I start tanking, if I don't have a better one, I'll start using that. It'll be pretty good. It does a little bit of extra damage to you and the boss, and that's good stuff for a little bit later. We end up 3 healing the first couple bosses in Heroic, so it's like an insane pad fest for me because one of our healers is kind of new and pretty undergeared. So it's kind of like 2.5 healing, really. So I get to pad like crazy, and I get like all like 98 parses on the first 3 bosses of Heroic. Wow, like incredible. And we do end up getting that shield, which is cool. I have a better one, but I get it for transmog, and I don't know. I like just kind of having it. No one else really needs it in the raid at all. Lots of guns and shields dropping, and there's only a few of us that need it. We go to Volcaros here, Heroic, and I end up solo healing one side, so again, like an insane pad fest for healing from me. And not much loot, however, we need. From the raid, the only loot I would really need is when we kill Fyrakk. Then we have, there's like a okay healing trinket that I'm not sure that I would use the Blossom anymore. But there's the healing one-hander, which I would definitely take that. But I'll probably be crafting healing one-hander next week because it requires a lot of healing to kill Fyrakk. So just having me be as geared as absolutely possible is part of how we would clear the raid in general, the whole Heroic raid. So this fight doesn't go well, and I happen to be the cause of several wipes here because I have a kind of a hard time targeting the things that we're supposed to be healing up. On the left is VuhDo with NPC frames. You can kind of see the renewed treants. However, there's 3 treants and 2 of them on the bars. Scuffed. On top of that, the bramble does not show up anywhere. It doesn't even show up on my target frame, so I end up having to manually select it and heal it back up, which is fine, but this did take me a couple times as we were a little bit low on healing for this fight that because I was kind of slow and then ineffective at healing those things, kind of just because of selection and whatnot, it's didn't go super great. However, I do look to remedy that on my own for next week, and if we ever make it to Mythic, then that is obviously a huge part of what I need to do in that fight. So I go to make some changes to make that fight better for healing. I believe we end up looting that. All the tokens go to me because there's no our priest isn't in this week, so I end up with some Heroic Tier pants, which at first I don't think I need, but then I actually end up getting a pretty good drop from them too, which I think I record, I'm not sure. So this is in LFR the next day, me practicing, and I've switched to using ElvUI. And if you look back, you can actually see that on the right, those are the boss frames from ElvUI. They do a really great job of showing the things we have to heal, so that's great. We're popping our little bad luck protection. That's our 2 of 2 here. We'll see how many it takes before I get it. If I ever get it, I have no idea. but we will see. So the first clip of this video showed me attempting to heal a 22 Tyrannical, and it goes very poorly. It's very much a learning run. I kind of know the mechanics. I've done it as DPS, but I've never healed it, and that certainly shows. However, for that dispel part, that's the hardest part. One, the dispel hits like an absolute truck. You have to heal everyone up in between, and then I daybreak the second one, and I almost eat the orbs. Or I think I eat a couple. This boss also, as soon as you get the orb, hurts an awful lot. There's a lot on the floor too. And then I die to these tornadoes I think 4 times. So this is one of those keys here. Very much a me learning one. So luckily it's with a guild group where people are mostly we're just vibing anyway. But yeah, I'm a little heavy healing 22 Tyrannicals right now, especially when I don't know the dungeons as well as I should. We kill Heroic Ron here, and I would like that trinket for tanking and for ret, but we don't roll on the we don't roll on the heroic DPS trinkets just yet. I think our raid's small enough that eventually everyone will have that. So maybe I'll start picking that up for the old ret and tank. I have the normal version though, which is probably fine anyway, and we are the last of the rolls. I think I had a negative roll number there or something. We are on the very end of Heroic Tindril here, and probably the spiciest of all the phases. All the mechanics are happening at once. Looks like our DK has AMZ'd, very nice. My job is to freedom our DH, who is spec'd into AoE, so that he can kill all of the vines, and we do that an awful lot. I am very low on mana, and on top of that, I get the thing, the circle. I've never gotten it once. That's the first time in this entire raid I've ever gotten that circle, so that was interesting to see. I dropped it off a little bit too close to the raid, and so did everybody else. On top of that, now there's seeds, and we are about to be deceased if this keeps going on. I still had AM, though. That was probably the time to use AM, looking back at it now. So we do kill him, and again, there is no priest, there is no shaman, so I'm pretty much taking this here. Is this a headpiece from here? It's a pretty good one, actually, which I believe I pop, and I do not need a haste. I mean, haste mastery is pretty good, actually, but we don't really need it. So we're going to pop that, and now we get a heroic 476 heroic tier, which is just straight eye level, so less crests, and it has a socket. So pretty decent at this part in the raid, because I haven't gotten a mythic one from Vault, and we're not doing, obviously, mythic Tindril right now. So I'm now 5 set tier, all heroic, one with a socket, and this early in the expansion, I'm still pretty capped on aspect crests, which I'm probably going to craft something with mine, and don't really have enough to upgrade all my stuff anyway. So that's a decent upgrade. We're specking for Heroic Fyrakk now to have a kick, and just recording some of the progression here. This is dying in phase 1. We're all learning the fight. I think 2 people here have killed it as pugs. No one else has, though, so we're just learning it. P1 from a healer point of view is just non-stop dispels. We make it into our first transition, but not very much, not very far. We need to then kind of break up the raid somewhat evenly and soak these orbs. I try to soak a bunch of them, and even at my eye level, like 476, I cannot soak too many of them. On top of that, I need to stop running around like crazy, and I just kind of park in the middle and heal everyone, and I will grab any orb that's called out that we're about to miss. Like if whoever our soaker isn't in the middle at the time, which happens frequently, then I'll try to pick up like 2 or 3 or something like that. But I can't take too many, and I need to plant to heal for the most part. So this is progression. This is the fun part, even though it's just all dying. And we continue to go further and further. We end up pugging a pretty geared shaman. This is definitely a 4 healer fight, it seems like, for Arce's raid. And there's no boss frames, there's no NPC frames for this part, so we just select them manually and give them the divine toll. I'm running Beacon of Virtue, which I've been told is not optimal, but I enjoy playing with it, and I heal like absolutely crazy with it. And I quite like it. I get to Beacon of Virtue and then use all my regular cooldowns and heal 5 people locally, versus beaconing like the tanks or something like that. I've not super felt that it's been needed, but I could be wrong. But for this fight specifically, it's for healing those ads efficiently. We do start making it to the seeds phase, which is towards the end of the fight. And all of the seed people have run to the opposite side of the room. And what we're not supposed to do is murder them with the lines. But again, it's new, it's chaotic. But this is us doing it wrong. That wraps it up for the week. Maybe next week we kill him. I'll see you on the next one.